Hey guys, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program with Nitro. And where I left off in my last video, I had a man stuck on Tylo. Good old Charlie is stuck on the surface because that was my first landing ever on Tylo, so I kind of underestimated the amount of fuel it would take to actually achieve a landing. So I need to send a rescue mission. Unfortunately for the challenge submission, you can only do refueling, so doing a rescue mission like this kind of voids my entry, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and do it again later in the future. Right here, I just have one of my Schofield landers attached with a larger fuel pod and then a big engine here that's going to help assist with landing. And then all of this here is going to get me out to Tylo. I just have the last part of my Leviathan lifter stage that's refueled and docked to my transfer stage, and then the rest of the lander right here. So I'm going to go ahead and get us on over to Tylo and then resume the recording once we are there. Alright, welcome back, and now we are finally at Tylo, and I got us a nice circular orbit here at roughly 200,000 meters. And here we can see Charlie is still stuck on the surface, but not for very much longer. It's right there. And I did use up a lot of the fuel. I used up all the RCS that I had because we don't need to dock with anything. Let's see here. Go ahead and bring this onto the day side just so we can see it real quick. And there we go. Actually, I could probably start burning there, but I don't know. So I used up all the lift stage, and the majority of the transfer stage only had about 400 and so units of fuel left. But that's okay because this is our landing engine along with what's in here. So if we use up all this fuel in the large tank and all this fuel in this smaller tank here, that's fine. That's all the stuff that we're going to use for the landing, which I need to plot a maneuver node for. So, just to see what we're looking at. Don't need that as our target anymore. So something along these lines is kind of what I'm looking for. Not real sure on the burn timer on this, so I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick little test burn to see what it's given us time-wise. Yeah, 11 minutes, so I'm probably going to tighten this orbit up here. And then once we get a little bit closer around this area, I'm going to go ahead and jettison and then use our landing engine. here we go. Alright, that gives us a pretty tight trajectory here towards our target. I know that was an epic waste of fuel for what was left of our transfer stage there, but I don't think it'll really matter in the end. Once we get a little closer over the target here, I should be able to use the rest of this fuel and then bring us in for a nice landing right on top of this guy, because I don't want to have to walk several kilometers across the crater just to get to our little rescue pod here. So let's just bring it in, and that looks good. This might be cutting it close. Yep, too close. I gotta burn sooner. That's unfortunate. Too much time warp. But that's okay. I'll just retry. Let's see here. Alright, good. We're at a good stage, so I think I started that roughly at 50 to 60,000 meters, so I just have to burn a lot sooner in order to tighten this up. So I can use time warp to an extent. About here should do. Here we go. Oh man. Okay, we are landed safely. That was a little hairy. It took another try, but that's okay. Success. That's all that matters. Now I just have to get this darn thing off the planet and back up into orbit, which I should be able to do. I got plenty of fuel left, actually. I do believe this is rather deceiving here. Yeah, so should be able to just eject those like so. And there we go. Alright, that one will roll away, but this one might actually have a use for if I can manage to get our lucky Kerbal back up into the seat, which might be a bit challenging, but we'll see how that goes. Um, Looks like we got pretty much full fuel on all these other tanks, so we should be good. Okay. And it looks like that is going to crash any second. I want to see it. Come on. Hurry up. Yes. Faster. Yeah. And that takes care of that. Alright, now we can go and get Lucky Charlie. Ah, come on. Oh, okay. That's right, because it blew up. Alright, I do think there's a little bit of fuel left in that pod that Charlie is next to, so if I can thrust over there, I will. But we'll see what we got here. Alright, there he is. Okay. Here's good old Charlie right where we left him. And there should be fuel left in this thing. Damn it. Get up there. Ah, that's right. Oh, this is annoying. Come on, Charlie. Get up there. Darn it, it looked good. Just about had it. Should have put ladders on these things. Yeah, whatever. I'll just pause it and then resume after he's up in the darn thing. Okay, got it. So he's finally up in the seat. So now I just need to control from here. Extend our little lander legs. Hopefully. Yeah, they don't do much. Alright, where? There it is. So it looks like it's that way. There we go. Now we're a little closer. So that's all I needed him to do, really. Unless I can get this thing right next to it, in which case I could just have him jump up there. I don't think I'll need to, though. Yeah, I'll just have him go. Should be fine. And his legs are broken. Okay. Run, little Kerbal. Oops. This way. So Charlie has probably surveyed the entire planet by now, since it's been, I think, just about 2 years that he's been trapped on Tylo now in actual game time. Unfortunately for him, he would be long dead by now, as would pretty much all the other Kerbals on the mission that are sitting in those little seats out in space. But luckily we don't have hazards that we have to deal with yet. Although if we did, that would be pretty interesting. I do hope they put life support and oxygen and stuff later in the game, because that would make it twice as challenging. Oxygen and food supply, that kind of thing. Actually, I think his little jetpack is just about out of fuel. Alrighty, here we are at our nice little lander, and I should be able to hop up onto this thing and should make my life a little easier. We'll see how this works. So, yeah, come on. Good boy. Yeah. No. You stay up there. Alright. Actually worked really well. Hooray. This thing needs ladders. Note to self, put ladders on the next one. Alrighty. The reason I didn't put ladders on these actually is because all the planets except for Live and all the moons, I should say, all the moons except for Live and Tylo, you can just, float on up there with your RCS gas. But I forgot. Okay, so now we got good old Charlie here. We need to get back up into space, but this one has Bob in it, I believe, and we need to get out here to our Jewel 5 ship, but everything's orbiting around that away, so if this is normal, let's just see here. I'll just follow this guy. So I'm just gonna check time warp here and double check. Yeah. And there it goes. Okay, we are ready for takeoff. Leaving Tylo behind. Tylo's been interesting. Again, this is the first time I've ever been out to Tylo, so I am sorry for having to do multiple tries here, but I'm sure you guys would probably do the same thing. I'll try it again next time with a new setup. Okay, here we go. So I do want to get a pretty wide arc here just so I have enough room to actually achieve orbit and I don't fall back down to the planet here, because I'm not sure about how the fuel will work with something like this. So I'll just take this up to about 60,000, that should be good. Alright. Good thing there's no atmosphere. Even if there was, I mean, this thing can get off of live, just the way that we landed it here. Of course, we don't have parachutes on this model, but that's fine. We wouldn't need them if we used the same setup and attempted a live landing, because that landing engine actually worked as intended. So overall, I'd call this fairly successful. If I were to do it again, I probably would have tightened the orbit up a little bit more, just to save fuel out of that landing engine. So if I got a nice low orbit over Tylo, probably about 50,000 instead of that 200,000 that I had, that probably would have been a little better fuel consumption wise. But that's okay. Tylo has been pretty interesting. It's a nice little planet. I do want to try and get a rover down here, or one of my APCs, and just rove around for a while. Just like I'm doing on the moon right now. I need to get those guys off the moon, actually. But that's for another mission. Alright, now let's see if we can get in orbit. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we have achieved orbit, so that is a success in my book. Now I just need to... 0.3 actually is not that bad. I wonder if I can tighten this up real quick here. Right there. That looks pretty darn good. It's like right on top of it. So let's see, descending nodes. That means we need to ascend a little bit. Actually do a mid-course inclination correction right here. So good, that'll help me. I won't be able to actually get an intercept right now, I don't think, but I should have enough fuel in this to get an orbit that matches the Joule 5 ship, so I'll be fine. So I'm just gonna, I don't even need maneuver nodes for this kind of thing, I'm just gonna burn anti-normal to stabilize my inclination. And there we go. 0.0 is just what we want. And now, let's see what we get as far as intercepts go. Over there. Might be a bit much. I don't know why they separated. Alright, so we'll see what this does, unless I can... I might be able to get one here. There we go. Never mind. Oops. Yeah, it looks pretty darn tight. Oops. Alright, anyway, it's about 705 meters per second delta V, so I should be fine once this pops up here, and then I'll just fine tune it. Unless I can fine tune it now. It's darn close. That's good enough. 3 kilometers is fine. It didn't even change on here. Yeah, whatever. It should be a little bit better than this actually. Let me see if I can fine tune it. Oops, wrong way. It's so touchy. That's good enough. 11 kilometers I'll be able to deal with just fine. This is a problem here. And we'll be fine when we come back around. Okay. We're not docking anyways, so I'm not really all that worried about it. And there we go. So let's see, we should be able to do the visual approach fairly soon here. So we're at 10 right now. Should get a little closer over here. Alright. Now I just need to start thrusting towards it, and we'll be good. There we go. Should have enough fuel left to stop here. It's looking pretty good. Even though it is so dark. Yeah, I got plenty of fuel. So I know you guys probably can't even see the ship right now. In fact, I can't even see it, but it's getting pretty close here. Got just barely enough fuel left in the tanks to get the job done, but that's perfect. So we're not wasting any fuel this time. Starting to see it. There it is. So that looks like our bottom engine, so we're coming up from behind it here. Do want to get a little closer. Alright. So that's about close enough. Just kill this velocity. we go. So we're not heading towards our ship. And let's go ahead and orient Charlie up here. There we go. And get him back home. Alright, he's free. Ooh, there we go. Come on, turn around. Come on, Charlie, do as I command. Alright, here we go. And here's our pretty ship shrouded in the darkness of the planet. But that's okay. He's finally back. I do forget where he goes, however. I'm not sure what pod he came out of. Which is a shame. I thought it was one of these. But we'll see. Can I find out by just right clicking on them? I don't think so. Oh, wait. Let's turn on your. Oops. Wrong one. Ha. Finally, a use for the Kerbal's lights. Alright. I don't want to touch that wing because I'm not sure if it'll break off or not, like the solar panels. Looks like you can't grab that, so I'm just gonna go around here. It's kind of cool floating around the ship with the little Kerbal lights on. Let's see what we can do over here. Oh, there we go. Ah. Oh man. Alright, so that one is obviously full. I thought for darn sure he came out of one of these. I guess not. So he must go in the main command module, which is located here, and he needs to, whoops, go underneath to the hatch, which is right there. Oh no. Alright, good. He's on, and he's in. Great. Alright. So overall, looks like we did pretty good. This little seat is out of fuel. We got one lander left along with Bob. So now we're going to have very uneven weight going on here, and I don't think I can squeeze this thing in between the engines. Let's see. And does look kind of wide. I don't know. If I did, it would be a really tight fit for sure. I don't know what to do. But anyway, I guess I'll just conclude the episode here, since we did get Charlie home safe, and he's in our command pod. Let's see here, we got Mitrod, Kelson, Jib, of course. So I used Jib, I used Charlie, I used Bob. So that means for the last two, I need to land Kelson and Mitrod on Bop and Pole. And I should be able to just use the same lander to get the job done in both cases, since I think this is close enough to the SOI of Tylo. I'm not real sure. But Bop is our next destination. If I can get... Huh. If I can get Bob over there, that'd be nice. Actually, that'd be kind of a waste, because I do need to go to Pole anyways. So if I can get Bob out to Pole, I think that'll be good. Or I could just switch out one of my crew members. I'm not sure. But I'll make a decision, and then in the next episode, we'll tackle Bop. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a good one.